All right, welcome to Off the Record. I'm here today with Kelly Harris, the Kelly Harris from FC Tucker. Welcome.
Thanks, David. Thanks for having me on your show.
You're very welcome. You know, it's always good to have those, I guess you can say, giants. I've been interviewing a lot of giants lately, and you definitely fall in that category when we start talking about real estate and just overall making people's lives better. From what I know of you and our time working together. So tell, everybody a little bit about yourself. Obviously you're a real estate broker. Are you from Indiana?
I am born and raised in Gary, Indiana. So yes, I am a native of Indiana State, and moved here with my mom in early '90s. And so yeah.
You mentioned Gary, and most people know that Gary has had his challenges from a real estate standpoint. And I know that there have so many different initiatives going on right now and different projects that are going on right now. And you're very, I guess, involved in some of those projects right now. Can you tell us a little bit about what those projects are and kind of what your role is?
I am, yes. So, it's no secret. Gary is definitely one of those heavily distressed areas, and just a great opportunity right now for investors or potential first-time home buyers, even just to start buying into the area at a really more traditional market value, not like the values that we're seeing now, where the prices of how homes are just skyrocketed. So yes, we have a group right now called the Gary Game Changers that we have kind of pretty much collectively all come together by the lead of Adrian Wells, who is kind of the head CEO of the Gary Game Changers. But basically, it's just a group of like-minded individuals who are from, or not everyone, should I say, are from the area, but most of them are from the area and just have seen the change in the down spiral that Gary has now, has come to. And so collectively, we are just looking for any investors or potential first-time home buyers, or even, second-time buyers, just looking to help just build the values back up, build home ownership, and just get the city back to where it once was and could potentially be again.
So it sounds like to me that community involvement is big for you.
It is, and it's definitely. I just want everybody to, at least we all have the same tools. Not everybody have, those resources available for them. And so that is what heavily just kind of encompasses me into the business, because I just want everybody to have a fair chance. There's no reason why it should be any homelessness. And so for me, I pride myself on just really helping to educate people to know that they too can become homeowners.
It seems like you have a gift and you're wanting to kind of spread your wings, not only here in Indianapolis area, but also in Gary. Are there any other areas where you're working out of here in Indiana?
Not now, just pretty much, our license does allow us to sell in the entire state. So I'm anywhere I need to be. I sold a house down in Nivea, never even saw the house or the areas, but hey, I am where I need to be. So.
Well, it just seems like you're kind of all, working in many different facets. If I wanted to, or let's just say one of our listeners wanted to purchase a home in Gary, Indiana, and maybe go through their revitalization process, do we contact you? And I'm going to give your information at the end of the video, but we would contact you.
Absolutely. And for someone that's potentially thinking to invest in Gary, first thing you would think, oh man, I don't have any contractors who will do the work, who's going to, do my inspections. Under the Gary Game Changers kind of portal, should you say, we have screened and selected the contractors. These contractors are all, prominent people who've been in the business, insurance, licensed, bonded. And so they are our boots on the ground for our investors who are out of Texas, who are out of, Colorado, wherever they may be. And so it's a really good system that we have right now, pretty much as an investor. you just need the capital. And even if you don't have the capital, we have hard money lenders, private lenders, who can help you get that. But for the most part, there's no work involved for you as an investor. You're just pretty much waiting for your return. We're looking for more investors who are wanting to buy and flip. Anyone that's, more so into the buy and hold. It's not really helping the city at all, because that is kind of one of the number one causes of where they are now, just with just the payroll, the property tax payroll. They have so many homes on their property tax roll that they need at least 10,000 new homeowners. So here, this is something that there is a definitely pipeline for. It's nothing that will turn around in the next year or two. With anything, especially this massive, it takes time. And so we're just looking for like-minded people who passionately just want to help and build the morale of just a new city. Just bring it back to let people know that, again, home ownership is obtainable, and there's so many different program types. I think down payment assistance has been one of the biggest benefits for first-time buyers, because not everyone can, save $10,000 potentially for a down payment for a home.
So if I wanted to be an investor, and I said, hey, Kelly, I want to work with the Gary Game Changers.
Gary Game Changers.
And because you have, from what you just described, a one-stop shop.
Pretty much,
You pretty much have the list of properties. You have the financing that I could potentially use, right, obtain. And then you have the contractors that could do the work for the rehabs for properties that I could potentially sell to a first-time home buyer. And now I'm changing the demographic, so to speak, or the revitalization. I'm being a part of the revitalization of the community in Gary.
Absolutely.
And that in itself is huge, that you're a part of that.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to feel good about being a part of something that's making a difference in the lives of others.
Absolutely, most certainly, yes. And again, that was kind of my compassion, which led me into the business, just always being just kind of the nurturer, the caregiver. I have a background as a dental assistant, and so, that involves you, or it requires you to, have some type of compassion and empathy for someone that's coming in and getting a full dental treatment, that may have some apprehensions and emotions of fear or, anxiety or whatever that is. And so for me, I've always loved, fashion, interior design, it look nice. So it just all ties into just kind of that decor of a home. When you walk into the model homes, especially because they always are so nicely decorated, it just kind of draws you in to think, man, these are just, I don't know, it just gives me just a good, warm, fluffy feeling inside. So I enjoy it.
And that was my next question, was why real estate? What prompted you to want to be involved in this crazy real estate world?
I didn't know. It's definitely a roller coaster. So all you agents definitely that has been in the business or new to the business, just brace yourself, because this is it's a ever evolving business. This is a business that will just never go away. Someone's always going to need a house to live in or to sell. And so it's just, we can't predict the market and how each year's real estate market will be. So again, it's been great. But what kind of led me into it was I was coached by Larry Rasmussen, and I think I told this story on a podcast that I did with Tevin Studdard. But Larry Rasmussen is so awesome. He's with the broker owner of Century 21 Rasmussen, and so he pretty much led me to my career real estate, because he's a veteran mogul in the business. And so who else to kind of learn under up under someone up under somebody that's great. And so he just kind of showed me the ropes, told me, hey, whenever you're ready, you just let me know. I'll get you the tools and get going. So when I got licensed, it was right when the recession hit. There was nothing really going on that was a traditional sale. Everything was short sale and foreclosure and bank owned.
That was an interesting time.
It was
you've
crazy.
been in the business for about, what, 13, 14 years now?
Close to, I won't say that long, but about more like 11.
11
so,
years.
yeah.
So you came in at a very challenging time.
I did.
But it was also a great time to learn because you're learning things that you wouldn't normally.
Absolutely, yeah. It definitely helped me give me my stripes, and so, and no one can be a know-it-all in this business. I mean, information is key. So the more information that you have, it just kind of helps, empowers you. It makes you more knowledgeable, more marketable, and those are things that, if you're working with an agent, those are things that you really want in your agent. You want that thorough agent that's going to go over and beyond and just work for you and not look at you as just a check.
Yeah, of course. And it's interesting because many people get in the business because of the check. They see the money, they see all the flash and all this stuff. But in many cases, they don't understand that service is a big part of it.
Absolutely, yeah. If you are lacking good quality customer service, you're really only kind of hurting yourself. Nobody wants to work with someone that is too prideful or a know-it-all or just don't even really pay attention to their customers and hear what their needs and wants are.
So we're talking about service, quality service, and I know we talk all the time about service above compensation, and we've had those conversations. When we talk about services that you offer, when you are helping a client, right? You say you've never met them, and I know you want to give the best quality service. What does that look like for you?
Well, definitely. First, I want to meet them face to face. I know there's so many easy ways now. You can, have them fill out the loan app online, and pretty much everything's online now. So I think it's still it's definitely important to be able to just bring it back to the roots, bring it back to face-to-face relationships. Everything now is just all technical, electronic. Everybody's just so into their phones, and so nobody's really face-to-face anymore. So that's pretty huge for me. I definitely like to sit down with my clients and, show them just the presentations that I have, whether it's a seller or buyer, and just walk them through that process and help them navigate to whatever destiny that they're looking to, or whatever home goals that they're looking to reach.
So we talked earlier a little bit about your background, being in Indiana. You have kids?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So your mom, super mom?
Yes. That's full time. Yes, that's full-time job all day. Even when they're at school, it's still.
So you understand people that are looking for a home, and they have kids, and they're trying to navigate. So you try to work through that whole entire process, understanding that they have a family and they have other responsibilities, because not everybody can come out and see a house when you want them to.
You're right. Hey, I just sold one online, and we did a FaceTime walkthrough of the house, and my client was out of state, and he didn't ever see the house until he came for closing. But those are the ones that, definitely, like I said, with any of my clients, I try to go over and beyond and just help that hardship a little less of a burden for them, because I do understand just the emotion side of this. It's not, it's the biggest investment that anyone is purchasing. No one is just buying a $100,000 house every couple months or every year. So I take that into consideration, because dollars don't grow on trees. Every dollar counts. And so I know if someone has worked hard to save this money, you want to make sure that you're making the right decision, and you don't want to get yourself into something that is going to cost you $100,000 later to get out of. So I definitely consider my client's emotion side of it.
Of course, and because it's already a huge purchase, and for many it's their first big major purchase, so but it's also a two-way street, right? You need a client that also is responsive to timing, things that you need, things that or documents that your lender may need. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, this is definitely a time sensitive business, and that's kind of one of the main kind of slogans that sticks out with me that I learned in real estate school. Time is of the essence, and when you start really getting deals and you know this inspection deadline is due, you know your offer response time is due, you really, you gauge in on those times and you hone in to make sure that you're meeting the required within that time frame, whatever requirements that you're challenging.
Well, and then also that's where we spoke earlier about technology, and that's where you have to be equipped with the technology to be able to accomplish some of those things, like submitting offers in and getting things done. Internet's super important.
Oh yeah,
having the technology. And then also, sometimes we have clients that may not necessarily have the technology. And
those are the ones you drive over with your paper contract, like, hey, here we are. And so, I just make sure, I thoroughly go through the contract and make sure all my clients understand what it is that they're doing. It's not just you buying a house and you close and you get your keys. There's so many moving parts to this business. And I know with HGTV and all of these new real estate shows, they make it look so easy. You show 3 houses, they pick one, and it's like, oh, we're at closing. And I wish it was that easy, that simple. But there's so many other steps that they just kind of, don't really show. But yeah.
And we are gonna dive into the closing part as well. New construction. I hear you're like an expert when it comes to
enjoy it. Look at you. I'm an expert. Goodness. I definitely
that's what I'm hearing. That's the word on the street. It's off the record, by the way. But that's the word on the street, is that you're an expert when it comes to new construction. Can you, if for anybody that's interested in purchasing a home, new construction, what was one of the piece of advice would you give someone?
You just have to really engage and just make sure your clients are fully aware of just start to finish. I mean, the builder's gonna handle the construction side of the bill. But as an agent, you just want to be engaged with your clients during the process. Go to their colors appointments. Go when they're adding options to their house. Even when they're initially introduced to the builder, you definitely want to be there to make sure you get your clients registered. And if not, you want to make sure your clients know to tell the builder that they are working with a realtor. But one of the big things, if I can give any advice to realtors who are representing their clients during a bill, you just want to engage. One, make sure that they know their lot. Don't just look at the map that's provided and you say, oh, I want lot 100. Lot 100 could be on a slope facing the
facing a brick wall,
right? So you just want to make sure that they know what that lot looks like. They know what options they're getting. You can never ask a stupid question and not enough questions. You want to know the materials, or at least the fixtures. What do those look like? Because obviously when you come inside the model home, everything is upgraded, and so you can't just assume that you get the crown molding around the cabinetry or you get the extended island overhang. So it's just so many different things that you just want to be
and not every builder is for everybody.
Absolutely, right? Not at all.
I mean, every builder has something about them that, there's a builder that I love that is in Nevada, right? And they have what I love about their plans is that you have the option to get a pool, right? I love that option. And then the back of the home opens up, like the whole back of the house.
Oh, that would be nice.
Like, that appeals to me. Right now, it may be above my budget, but it appeals to me. So new construction, that's kind of your thing, but also you help families with pre-existing.
I do,
as well.
Yes.
Right, so you have that. So you've helped a family. You've maybe had some hiccups along the way. I'm just throwing out a scenario to you. Maybe this is their first home. You had to hold their hand quite a bit, because there is some hand holding that goes on.
It is
throughout the process, particularly maybe with the first time home buyer, and maybe even things have changed so much with lending.
I was gonna say,
that maybe even with the second or third time home buyer. But what I find most interesting, and you can tell us how you feel about when you're with a customer and you're at closing, they sign their papers, they get their keys. How does that make you feel?
That is one of the most rewarding feelings ever, because you just helped change someone's life, and it just makes me feel good. It makes me like I'm just happy for them. and it's every closing. It's not just one. I'm happy for all of my clients. So, and when you do a good job and they're running and posting and telling all their family and friends, I mean, you reap the benefits of it. And so for me, that's the best part about the business, is just, you know, getting my clients to the closing table.
Well, also, there's a lot of education that goes on. So I'm sure you feel like a teacher, you feel like a mentor, you feel like a coach. And for them to get their keys, and then now you're holding the sign, they hold the sign, the sold sign, and they're saying, I love my realtor and all that. And then to get a referral is the ultimate compliment.
Absolutely. And that is huge, and that is business building. You want to work by referral, in addition to so many other marketing tactics, but working by referral is definitely just kind of your reaps of the fruits of the labor, because you did a good job for someone and they are now like your walking, you know, raving fan. They're gonna go tell everybody. And so definitely that has been the bulk of my business for the past 10 years. Just my clients have all referred their family and friends, and now I'm getting their kids. And so this is exciting for me. It's definitely exciting.
Well, it's 2022. You've had an amazing run so far, and so how does anybody get a hold of you, Kelly? Like, if anybody that's watching or watched this video and they want you to utilize your services, how do they get a hold of you?
You can always reach me by phone, preferably 317-350-3684, or email me, homesbykelly.harris@gmail.com.
Are you on Instagram?
I am. Homes by Kelly on Instagram, and just Kelly Harris on Facebook and LinkedIn. So.
Okay. Well, Kelly, everything is always off the record, but we appreciate you joining us today.
Absolutely. And, thanks for having me, David. This has been a pleasure. And
you made it through the interview. So, and we're very thankful and grateful that you had a chance to spend time with us today.
Pleasure is all mine.